New business number 3, consideration of a public hearing and an ordinance vacating 10 feet of the 60-foot right-of-way of West 2nd Street that lies adjacent to and south of lots 5, 6, 7, and 8 in Block 10 of the McClure and Bayless additions in the city of Russellville, submitted by Kirk and Dana Warren. This was recommended unanimously by the Planning Commission. All those who are present here, I am now going to open the public hearing in regarding to this particular ordinance and action that will take place. So if there are those who would like to speak one way or the other in regard to that, please come forward to the microphone at the middle of the room at this time. Please state your name and for the record, please, ma'am. My
name is Dana Warren. I'm the owner of Recovery Zone Pediatrics, and I'm here with my husband, Kirk, and our partner, James Kestrin. We requested to vacate a portion of 2nd Street. I know y'all have all read the minutes, so I don't want to review too much, but just enough to be helpful that when we first bought the property, the asphalt turnaround extended into 2nd Street, which just fooled us a little bit on the property boundary. My goal of this meeting right now is to work with you to come to some type of compromise. We originally requested 30 feet to try to close the road like it was done for Walmart, and we ran into some resistance because I realized the city has maybe a long-term plan to run 2nd Street through there, and this is the group of people that know whether that's going to happen or not. And I do value your projection and what you feel like is best for the city of Russellville, and I truly mean that. I want what's best for Recovery Zone and the children also with special needs in the city of Russellville. Through the Planning Commission discussion, it was dropped to 10 feet, which gave Kirk and I some time to go out and get some exact measurements. I know that we have 60 feet to work with. I don't want to confuse anything, and I will walk out here graciously humble and appreciative of 10 feet. But looking at it, if there was a way we could get 15, it would give us two to three extra parking spots, because when you extend out that much, you can slant the parking slots less, therefore getting more in there. And I know that there's procedures in that, but the original motion was just to vacate a portion. It didn't define actual footage. I know on the agenda it's a recommendation for 10 feet from the Planning Commission. The reason it's not 15 on there is because we had a chance to go back and measure that after the Planning Commission vote. If y'all have any questions or that I could help
15
with.
feet, well, 15 feet would give you 2 more parking spaces, is that correct?
2 to 3, I believe.
2 to 3?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And then, so that's a 60-foot right-of-way right now, and if we gave 15, it'd be 45, 2 lanes, two wide traffic lanes would be 13 and a half feet, that's 27. And that leaves 18 feet, 9 feet on either side of the curb. Is that not enough? I mean, I'm saying, well, I'm really not. I'm just kind of thinking out loud here. I'm sorry. You need. I'm not.
No.
You need 2 to 3 more parking spaces, and 15 feet would do it.
Yes, sir.
Looks to me like 15 feet is not unreasonable, and 45 feet's plenty of right of way.
That would allow, Mr. Irwin, that would allow 2 11-foot lanes and then 11 and a half feet on either side,
Right,
which
Should be
would
plenty.
work. It would work, yeah.
It's also going to impact your size of your playground, which is integral to your sites, is it not?
Yes. If we could get 15 feet instead of the 10 feet, we wouldn't have to cut out as near as much playground as we were going to have to do to put some parking in the back. So I would really appreciate 15 feet if it's doable
Okay.
for the city.
Mr. Harris, did Planning Commission discuss 15 feet or?
No,
If I read the minutes, I don't remember seeing any discussion on it.
No, it
we
started
just
with
talked about, just talked about that,
They
Mr.
originally
Smith
started-
and I, but go ahead.
We talked about 30, and then 30 or 10 were the two,
Yeah.
was
Yeah.
not a
And-
offense.
Dana said that after the planning commission, they went back and got some different numbers.
Mhm.
That's what I thought.
Was that contemplated at the planning commission?
I don't remember that we discussed that at the planning commission, that would be anything like that, but,
They,
I asked Mr. Smith if changing this or adjusting this was at our discretion, and since it was not specified by the planning commission one way or the other, we do have that discretion.
Oh, we do,
So
okay.
the 10 feet, the 10-foot number, is that an arbitrary number? Or did y'all suggest it just out of the air, or?
we were asked to suggest it out of the air, and at that time, that's just a number we come up
And you
with.
didn't have the measurements that you have now?
Correct.
Mhm.
Okay. Is that,
I'm comfortable with that. In fact, if you go through the zoning code, you could make an argument that every number in there, to some degree, is arbitrary. Somebody decided, well, 8 feet is the setback you must have, or, you know.
but you're
so
comfortable with a 15-foot?
if Mr. Smith is okay with it procedurally, then I'm fine with it.
Yeah,
right.
the number it came about because that's according to our land development code, 50 feet's the minimum that
That's
we
right.
have for just a road. So that's where I think it came from, to try and keep a road viable. But if y'all want to do 45,
Less than 50.
Was it gonna keep us from putting the road there if it's 45?
One block, right?
it'll be one block, and it'll just, basically, you'll just be not conforming to the land subdivision development code. But it wasn't just picked out of the air, I guess is what I'm trying to say.
Yeah.
Of course, I guess I wonder if our zoning code says 50 foot, why we would go anything less than that.
50 feet's the minimum? I thought it was 45.
I think
I
that-
looked at it that night, and that's what I saw that night, so,
I think the table in the land subdivision development code, 50 is the minimum, but
for it to stay.
you've clearly given waivers on things from that code before, so it's not like it's an impossible
Well,
barrier.
and point out that that street was here before it doesn't really matter, but there are many, many streets over there in that area where there are 40-foot rights of way.
We definitely have 40-foot right-of-ways in there.
We've deviated, this body has deviated in the past, is that what you're saying?
Yes, from land subdivision development code,
It's
absolutely.
one block we're talking about? I mean, the linear,
And as I understand it, you can build the street the same from end to end. You're just gonna have to cram your utilities in a little bit.
Well, there's
Less
not really
space
much
is there.
cramming going on there. There's plenty of room there, 11 feet on each side.
You know, what
It's
I
actually
think.
about half a
11
block,
feet.
is it not? Because it's halfway in between Seattle and Tulsa. It's not even the whole way through.
It's 160
Well,
feet, I believe.
my statement was it would just be affecting that one
That's right.
block. Yeah, it
And
really
it's-
doesn't go the whole block.
And the fact is that there is still an adequate amount of room to put the utilities.
When is this street planned to go? When do we plan to put this street in?
We don't
Yeah.
yet.
Is there anyone else, while we have the public hearing open, is there anyone else that wants to address this from the public? Any other questions here from the bench? You have anything else, Ms. Warren?
No.
All right, thank you, ma'am. Okay, at this time, I'm going to close the public hearing regarding this item, and then we will address this ordinance and the direction that we will go based upon the hearing information that we have. So we do have an ordinance requested vacating the 10 feet of the 60-foot right-of-way.
Before I read it, I'll just ask what you
Pardon?
want to. Sorry, I'm answering.
Okay.
Go ahead.
Of which I read the blocks and the lots of the McClure and Bayless additions for which this request has been made. And you have heard the discussion during the public hearing. Do I hear any motion regarding this item?
First, I'd
If you want
motion
to.
that we suspend the rules and read one time by title only.
What,
I would second that.
don't we need to amend it?
Nope.
Well, I
Not
thought,
yet.
I didn't know.
Not
I
yet.
want to
We need
amend
to
it, but I thought we had to do
Oh,
the
yeah.
suspension
Need to
first.
spend, right?
You can, if you want to suspend it and read it, if you want to suspend it and then make a motion and then amend it that way, or if you want me just to go ahead and make the amendment now, either way is fine. If you want to go this route, then you can suspend.
Well, we
the
have a
rules.
Well, generally, we have suspended the rules, so
Okay,
let's
go ahead.
go through
We got a
that
motion.
process, and then we can amend them. We have a motion to suspend the rules, read one time by title only with a short explanation. All those in favor of that motion say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Mr. Smith,
All right.
or,
In ordinance vacating and abandoning part of the West Second Street Block 10 McClure Bayless additions, City of Russellville, Arkansas, for the purposes this ordinance, if passed, as written at this time, would abandon the north 10 feet of 60-foot right-of-way of West Second Street that lies adjacent to and south of lots 5, 6, 7, 8, and Block 10 of McClure and Bayless additions, City of Russellville, Arkansas, as further described in Exhibit A attached with this ordinance.
do I hear another motion to amend then at this point?
Make a motion to amend this ordinance from 10 feet to abandoning the north 15 feet of the 60-foot right-of-way on West Second Street.
Second.
We have a motion and a second for an amendment to this ordinance. Any other discussion? All those in favor of that motion say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed?
No,
Next step.
It's been amended, so motion to adopt.
Motion to adopt.
Yeah.
Second.
We have a motion and a second to adopt. All those in favor of that motion say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed?
no,
Please read the roll, Ms. Clerk.
Mr. Martin Irwin,
Yes.
Mr. Horton,
Yes.
Mr. Seth Irwin,
Yes.
Mr. Tripp,
Yes.
Ms. Freddie Harris. Yes. Mr. Roberts,
Yes.
Mr. Stuber.
no.
Motion carries.
I do need to find out from the Warrens, is this something that you need right away if we can act on that?
30 days too long to wait?
The only reason we would need it quicker than that would be because we've got to get we want to get a survey done to find exactly where the boundaries are, and then get an excavation crew in there. We've got quite a bit of work to do to try and get open by July 1st.
Motion
Okay.
to adopt the emergency clause.
Second.
We have a motion and a second to adopt the emergency clause. Any other discussion? All those in favor of that motion say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed?
Mr. Horton,
Yes.
Mr. Martin Irwin,
Yes.
Mr. Seth Irwin,
Yes.
Mr. Tripp,
Yes.
Ms. Freddie Harris. Yes. Mr. Stuber,
Yes,
Mr. Roberts.
Yes.
Motion carries.
Thank you, lady and gentlemen.